right, friends, let's take a little time to find out what's trending left. And we're going to start with the messed up mind of a rainbow mafia activist, as one particular gentleman who likes to dress as a woman and call himself non-binary says he experiences pure joy when he can confuse straight people. So why should we take these people seriously, you ask? Great question.
I am now starting to get identified as them presenting to the point where people call me ma'am, or people call me like miss, or things like that. And it's still wrong because I'm non-binary. And I think my gender is the emotions of straight people being utterly confused. Like, I just want to instill chaos. And like, that's my pronouns. That's my gender. That's my identity. That's my sexuality.
If you saw on his shirt, he had it was like a CD cover and it said parental advisory. I think he should wear that all the time because he needs an advisory warning on him. Anyway, next let's move on to an elementary educator who has a PSA for all you K through 5th teachers. Boys are no different than girls. And if you ever acknowledge that fact, you are going against everything leftist teachers are trying to do. Get out your number 2 pencils, students, because you're about to get a gender lesson.
PSA to all educators, especially elementary school educators, do us all a favor, society a favor, and stop breaking your kids up into boys groups and girls groups. Please stop doing it, especially at an elementary level. For academics, for athletics, for all things, stop breaking them up into boys and girls groups. It creates this idea that boys and girls are inherently different, which is something we're trying to stop in our society. So do us all a favor. Break your kids up into levels. Break your kids up into hair color for all I care. But please, please, please stop breaking your kids up into boys and girls groups.
Okay, so you can't break them up into boys and girls, but hair color. Why not just make it skin color on that note? Oh, did I just say what they don't actually want you to do? Because they only want you to do what they want to do, but they don't even know what they want to do because they keep changing where the goalposts are. All right, well, since we're talking about wackadoodles, one particular dude is blowing up the internet after taking to TikTok to discuss how bad his supposed period cramps are getting from his non-existent hoo-ha now that he's taking estrogen.
So I just had to call out sick from work because I've had these awful, unexplainable stomach cramps all day. And I really, really hope that I'm sick because, you know, I've been on hormones for a year and I've heard people say that this is around the time when they start getting like period cramps. And if I have to deal with this once a month, I am going to be so upset. I don't have 12 sick days a year. I'm just going to have to power through. That sounds awful.
That's all I can say to that. But I will say, 1, you are sick. Not in the way you think you are. Number 2, it's indigestion. And number 3, you're a sissy. Anyway, from the fake periods to hiding breasts, our next story takes us to Rochester, New York, where a school is publicly promoting chest binding for teenage girls. Now, the flyer says binders help with gender dysphoria, help girls present as more masculine, and increase self-confidence and self-esteem. In addition, there are, of course, tips and tricks provided for wearing them. Or you could just not. Best tip and trick I think I ever came up with. But finally, we're going to wrap things up with a total nutjob who claims we should replace Martin Luther King Day with George Floyd Day because Floyd has made a greater impact with his death than MLK. Sorry, did I mention that this woman is actually a self-identified activist teacher? Yeah.
Hi, TikTok. It's Luna, activist teacher here, and I'm thinking that we should replace Martin Luther King Day with George Floyd Day since he has made a greater impact with his death than MLK. And I also think that Martin Luther King's teachings are outdated. His idea of being colorblind is a white construct.
There's no way she's serious. That has to be a mockery. The whole thing's a mockery. And any of these activist teachers on TikTok are mockeries, but sadly, that's probably actually how she feels. But thankfully, that's going to wrap up this segment. Now, make sure you send us some of the craziness that you've been seeing out there. And all you have to do is email media@fpeusa.org. And if the clip that you send is actually featured, then hey, I'll give you a special little shout out. So for now, just know that we're going to have much more craziness next time. Until then, stay sane.